Hey everyone, how is it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm here with some more exciting news. In the previous video, we talked about Jinshi's full kit. Now in this video, we are going to break down the full kit of Changli. She is our very first character with Defense Ignore in this game, and her kit is quite impressive. So buckle up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now, let's get started. Remember, all this information is early, so it can change before the release. So guys, Changli is a 5-star fusion character and uses a sword during the fight. Here are her base stats displayed on the screen. Basic attack. Perform up to 4 consecutive attacks, dealing fusion DMG. After releasing Ground Basic Attack Stage 4, Changli enters True Sight, lasting for 12 seconds. This is also part of her Forte Circit, so we will talk about it a bit later. Resonance Skill. After releasing Resonance Skill, Changli rapidly attacks the enemy and enters True Sight, lasting for 12 seconds. In the end, Changli releases a plunging attack, dealing fusion DMG. True Sight buff itself has 2 initial attempts that can be used up to 2 times. The number of attempts will be increased by 1 every 12 seconds. When in the True Sight state, she will have an enhanced basic attack called True Sight Conquest. If she uses a basic attack mid-air, it is called True Sight Charge, which does more damage. More importantly, this damage will be considered as Resonance Skill damage. Resonance Liberation. Deal fusion DMG to nearby targets, obtaining 4 stacks of enflammement and entering Fiery Feather. I will talk about this in her Forte Circit part. As for Fiery Feather, it is more like an attack boost. When Changli releases Heavy Attack Flaming Sacrifice within 10 seconds, her ATK is increased by 25%, after which Fiery Feather ends. In this game, the main focus point is always the Forte Circit, so let's talk about that now. When releasing Heavy Attack, Changli carries 4 stacks of enflammement. She consumes all stacks of enflammement to release Flaming Sacrifice, dealing fusion damage, considered as Resonance Skill damage. Changli can hold up to 4 stacks of enflammement. She obtains 1 stack of enflammement for every basic attack or mid-air plunge attack in her True Sight state. As we already talked about in her ultimate section, she obtains 4 stacks of enflammement when she casts her Resonance Liberation. So you can stack up enflammement pretty consistently, and once you have 4 stacks, you'll just consume them to do a big heavy attack, Flaming Sacrifice. Inherent skills. When Changli does a basic attack or mid-air plunge attack in her True Sight state, for each stack of enflammement, Changli's fusion DMG is increased by 5%, up to a 20% damage increase. When Changli releases Heavy Attack Flaming Sacrifice or Resonance Liberation, Changli's fusion DMG bonus increases by 20%, and Changli ignores 15% of the target's defense when dealing damage. This is the main thing I am really excited about. Defense Ignore is always good in any game, and she is getting 15% Def Ignore at S0. That is truly amazing. Intro Skill. Changli appears in midair similar to Jiyan, attacks the target, and enters True Sight, lasting for 12 seconds. Outro Skill. Changli's Outro Skill increases the switched-in Resonator's fusion DMG by 20% and their Resonance Liberation DMG by 25%, lasting for 10 seconds. Switching to another Resonator ends this effect. Because of this skill, many players are comparing this character with Yinlin, but I hope you understand now that Changli is quite different from Yinlin. Stat bonus. Changli gains an 8% crit rate and an 8% attack. Before I talk about her sequences and signature weapon, let me share my thoughts on this character. In my opinion, she will be a really good hybrid. She can deal quite a good amount of damage, has Defense Ignore in her kit, and can also buff fusion damage and Resonance Liberation by a good amount. So I think she will be really good, better than Jinshi. I was going to pull for Yinlin, but after looking at this kit, I am having second thoughts now, as I really like playing Encore, and she will be a good pair with her. This was my opinion. I really want to know what you think, so comment below. Resonance Chain S1. Resonance Skill and Heavy Attack Flaming Vow increase Changli's DMG dealt by 10% and resistance to interruption. S2 Enflammement increases Changli's crit damage by 30%, lasting for 8 seconds. S3 Resonance Liberation Radiance of Fealty damage is increased by 80%. S4 Intro Skill increases the attack of all team members by 20%, lasting for 30 seconds. S5 Heavy Attack Flaming Vow's multiplier is increased by 50%. When Heavy Attack Flaming Vow is released, Changli's attack is increased by an additional 50%. S6. Resonance Skill Tripartite Flames, Heavy Attack Flaming Vow, and Resonance Liberation ignore an additional 40% of the target's defense when dealing damage. I said it previously and I'm saying it again. You don't need to go for the sequence of any character, especially if you are an F2P player. Rather than duplicates of a character, you should go for other characters. She's going to be perfectly functional at S0, but if you somehow get her S6, she will be broken, as 40% defense ignore addition to her already 15% is not a joke. Also, her S4 is quite good. Now quickly let's go over her weapon, Blazing Brilliance. The base attack of this weapon is 588, but the substat is 36.5% attack percentage and not crit stats, which is a big downside in my opinion. The passive does provide an 8% crit rate at S1, but it's not a lot. Other than that, upon dealing damage, it increases Searing Feather by 1 stack, gaining 1 stack every 0.5 seconds. When Resonance Skill is released, it increases Searing Feather by an extra 5 stacks. Each stack of Searing Feather increases Resonance Skill DMG bonus by 4%, stacking up to 14 times. After reaching 14 stacks of Searing Feather, all stacks will reset within 10 seconds. I personally do not recommend pulling this weapon because there is an amazing free-to-play option, which is Emerald of Genesis. That is the 5-star standard weapon that you can get from the weapon selector whenever you reach Union level 45. Overall, Changli is looking good, better than Jinshi at least, and we also have a good free-to-play weapon for her. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you like this video, press the thumbs up button so I get more motivated to make these kinds of videos. That was it for today, guys. I will see you in the next one, maybe with some more dreams. So subscribe to this channel right now. It is absolutely free, and keep playing.